she was very knowledgeable about breeding and her own racing operation. But she was interested in seeing the American stallions and the American stud farms. So the Keeneland thing fitted in. We were going to name a race for her, and then she'd be able to visit the farms for several days and whatnot. And it was a memorable occasion. But she couldn't have been more pleasant and thoughtful and kind. And we took her, we put on a fake auction. Did you know that? Well, we put on an auction down there, and the sales were being. We brought our team in from around the country, the bid spotters, and the auctioneer, George, and set her there. And then we had a luncheon for her. But so thoughtful and kind and very nice to Lucy and myself since then. We've been invited to Ascot and been invited to Windsor and to Buckingham. My only claim to fame, he knows the Queen. 25 years ago, I wouldn't think I'd go very far today. You all will not believe this, and I'm embarrassed. You can see it over there on that photograph. But one thing, when I was head of the World Racing Championship, and we presented this trophy at Ascot with the Queen, do not be some yahoo American around him putting your hands up like this to try to get it. Wait until the Queen presents the trophy to you. Wait. So at this particular time, with the Aga Khan, who's an old pro at this, the Queen hands it to him, he gets it, and I'm supposed to be presenting it to him. He's the owner. So somehow he got into it, and the damn thing slipped out of the damn thing. And as a photograph, it hit the ground and bounced. It hit on my toe. It didn't hurt at all. But 3 or 4 weeks later, a little spot sort of developed in there. And I said, I better have a doctor look at this. So I went over there and said, well, we better take a biopsy of this thing. So he calls me up and says, you got to go in the hospital. We got to chop that toe off. But if I hadn't chopped my toe off, then I probably would have ignored that thing for a long time. I'd take my foot off. It was a melanoma. So it's called the fortuitous drop. I asked David Hedges, have you got a photograph of that? Oh, no, I don't think so. I think the Queen has got a photograph of that. I don't know. Well, when she invited us to lunch, and I said so, I said, you probably don't recall when I made a fool out of myself on the drop to, oh, I do, I remember it. Well, I have a photograph of it. And that's how I got the photograph of her.